Hello, kids. This is not a video request. This is just my own. But it has become very apparent we need a secondary lesson in this. I put together a video called Why You Should Never Major in Finance or Economics, but I keep getting a lot of young people asking me, well, I'm thinking about, not only just asking me about whether they should switch to economics or they should study economics, but saying, well, by gosh, I read your book and I'm going to switch from English to economics. Okay, guys, economics is a worthless fucking degree. It is fucking pointless. Now, there are other areas or subsegments of economics or completely other degrees that just take their little pinky finger and dip it into economics, like econometrics or actuarial science or statistics. But economics itself is a worthless fucking degree, right? If you get your bachelor's, now of course there's going to be some people, well, I have a degree in economics and I did good, so the one statistic, the one outlier statistical variable means everybody should go and study that. For the most part, most people who get degrees in economics do not find jobs right out of college, and certainly do not find jobs in their field. And you certainly, especially if you're going into economics, you do so because you have an intellectual interest. It's not a dumb degree. Don't get me wrong. It's not an intellectually hollow degree. There's a lot of important stuff, a lot of good math and information and statistics that goes into economics, but you are not going to be doing that work. You will not be analyzing economies, writing papers about interest rates or anything like that. You will not use any part of anything that you've ever learned in college in economics, no matter how important it is, because there are other higher, richer, more powerful people who've been in the industry longer than you have, and that is an enjoyable job, and they're going to do that, and you're going to be their bitch doing data entry, doing data searches through databases, and you're just basically going to be a senior economist bitch if you can even get a job as an economist, right? So that's the general layout of what you can expect to do, and that's if you're lucky if you get a degree as an economist. Second, you're not going to get a degree or a job as an economist because you need to get at least a master's, if not your doctorate, because really only the places that hire economists are the government and academia. And when you get into academia, you're just going to go teach. You might do some research. It's got to be Keynesian leftist bullshit, and you're not going to like it because you got to lie. And then when you're in the government, God almighty, just kill me now. I'm sorry, economics, as vital and as important as it is, and even if banks and finance industry, if they had economists, I guarantee good economists, they wouldn't have had the housing bubble and the financial crisis. A lot of bad things would be avoided if companies would hire economists, but they don't, okay? So I know it's a very tricky degree. You look and say, well, that's really important. That's a really math-based, like finance. Boy, that's something that would be in demand. It's not. It's not, because ultimately what good economists and economics is all about, what good economists do, is they discover the truth. And such a high percentage of this economy and our government is based on telling people lies and telling them what they want to hear and avoiding the truth, but instead coming up. Look at what's his name? You want to see a successful economist? Look at Paul Krugman. He's not an economist. He's a whore. He's a shill. He's like, what kind of dad do you want? You need a theory for me to pull out of my ass so you can tell people and talk over their heads and make it sound like we economists know what we're doing. We just spend money. Okay, here you go. That's not an economist. He is just a whore. He is just a... Now, if you can do it, sure, okay. It's not... You make good money lying to people. You can be a good politician. But there's no morality in economics. There's no morality in finance. And on top of it, you need at least a master's or a doctorate to get there. And when you do get there, you're not going to be working on interesting, engaging shit. It's going to be boring, mind-numbing shit. It really is. So don't bother with it. Read about it. Absolutely. Study it. Check it out on the internet. Read books. Listen to tutorials. Look up the data. Go and research the data at the OECD or the FRED database. Absolutely. You'll learn more just pulling data from the FRED database and reading on what the definitions and the terms are of each chart you're pulling up. Or reading a book, one or two books by Milton Friedman or Ludwig von Mises. You'll learn more than just doing those 2 or 3 things than you will get an entire degree in economics about real economics. But honest to God, do not go to school for economics. Just don't. It is not worth it. It's not worth your time. Again, of course, unless your name is Thaddeus McWinthrop III, and you're the type of person who's going to say, "Well, I have a degree in economics, and I have a success. I'm an investment banker. I learned to suck cock. My dad got me into Harvard." All right, okay, except for those guys, yeah, okay, you'll be successful in economics. But for the rest of you, if you actually pay your way through college, and your parents aren't rich, and you're like the remaining 98% of us, you're wasting your time. Don't fucking bother. Avoid it like you would a landmine, okay? We'll catch you later. Toodles.